Hi, Jeff.
And this is Amy with Tree Patrol.
Hi, Jeff. How are you? Good.
So what we would like to do is dress up the fuel canopy. Crosby's is based in Lockport. They're family owned. They have 90 stores and they have a 3-year rebranding plan where they're going to every store, doing remodels and updating their branding. So this store has partially been updated, but the fuel canopy has never had any branding, and it looks plain, generic, doesn't tie in with all the other Crosby's throughout the footprint. We feel that if it's branded correctly, it looks more professional. Crosby's has spent a lot of time and energy in their fuel rewards program. So people now have fuel cards where they can save, and the branding helps with that. When you see it's an unbranded facility, it just looks almost like what is it? And this helps them identify it as a Crosby's, and they're trying to build loyalty with their customers. So what we're proposing is the drawings that you have with the striping and the Crosby's letters, and then there's C mark. And I have some pictures of other locations that have been done, if that helps, and then the picture of what the Mendon canopy currently looks like. So we just think it would look a lot more professional to have the correct colors.
The new images are definitely a lot more brighter and inviting than the previous burgundy and the darker blue color that we have. You know, we've been in Mendon for quite some time. We like being in Mendon and like being a part of that community. You know, this brand overhaul is part of that, you know, showing what our brand is now, it's becoming, you know, that goes as far as Crosby Reward, which said, yes, discount, and that's one fleet program for Crosby, and waiting for local community members to join and get back on limited businesses for fueling and stuff like that. I think it would make the site look a lot better than it currently does, because like a gunmetal grayish color is a little sad, in my opinion. This would definitely lighten that up.
You do know that this is within 500 feet of an historic structure, so we had to consider that. Before we break into that, does anybody have any thing that they would like to ask or have any questions about?
The purpose is rebranding all stores.
They are doing the entire 90 stores in the footprint.
I'm trying to wrap around why you would need to change Mendon's. Because all the other ones are changing.
Yes, they have the Crosby's letter style is new. The smile logo is new. So they want to have that current imaging at every store.
Took a little bold for Mendon. We are the only state in between Pittsburgh and 5 and 22 Wisconsin.
Well, is there's a quickly, is that in Mendon?
That's Honey Falls over at 15A.
Okay. Yeah, so, I mean, just based on wanting all the stores to look alike is really the primary purpose, and we do think it would look a lot better than it does now. I mean, it's just the canopy right now being plain with nothing on it, just not appealing.
Is the sign on the building updated according to your current
Yes.
branding?
Yes, it is.
Do we have anything?
I don't.
No, anything else?
We don't.
So, I know.
That's the number question.
Okay, so, let's, just address what the, thoughts were from the, Historic Preservation, Commission. They sent us a nice letter, they reviewed, they did some background. They noted that the Crosby's is within 500 completed amended Academy building, historic cobblestone listed with the National Register and also designated locally by the HPC. It also sits in the middle of the historic hamlet of Mendon, not formally designated by the HPC, but long recognized for its historic significance. So their comments are, we assume that the proposed signage will adhere to the existing town code. As well as the Hamlet Master Plan, which is an addendum to the town master plan, as well as proposed modifications for temporary signage, if applicable. We feel the proposed signage in red, white, and blue on a bright white background is somewhat jarring and doesn't blend in well with the historic nature of the hamlet. The current signage on the building sits on the tan background of the building. We would ask that the owner and the sign company consider painting the canopy to match the building and placing the signage on a tan background as it is on the building. This would successfully tone down the canopy signage slightly and would better fit the historic character of the building. In conclusion and closing, we are in favor of granting a conditional approval to the proposed signage changes in regards to the EPOD 5 restrictions. The condition being, we're suggesting that in this instance, Ulrich sign consider substituting the tan color to replace the bright white background as seen in their presentation materials. And that's from the HPC.
Right, and you did get a copy, I appreciate, so. If the tan background, and I think the building does look good, it's been repainted. So that would be a vast improvement that I certainly would be in favor of. If the canopy could be painted, that color is called desert sand, and that's what all their buildings are. So they just typically have a desert sand colored building with the white canopy, but if it's the board's, wishes to have the canopy, I think that would be something that Crosby's would definitely consider, and most likely, it's certainly gonna look a lot better if we change the canopy to the desert sand and still have the branding.
Right, right.
Can I ask, Earl, when you say the boldness of it, is it just the colors themselves that's bold?
It's the color itself on that white background.
Okay,
So how do we feel about the tan? How do you feel about the
The tan?
tan?
I'd
With-
rather see a tan for sure. No question.
Same,
Yeah.
Just a plain tan with the C or the Crosby name.
now I know
Where
that, oh, I'm sorry.
go ahead.
So I know that is what like the historic preservation of recommended that they would like to see. Would we be open to just white even, if we could get them on board with that?
You mean as proposed?
No, so it would just be no red, white and blue, just white.
It's currently white, isn't it?
It's like a off grayish color.
It's leaning pretty much towards white.
You mean you paint it white and not put any branding on it?
We would still have the Crosby's channel letters on it,
You would still have what?
the Crosby's channel letters, so. This would be the C mark, which I believe with the sandstone, we would still have the channel letters as well. Unless I misunderstood.
No, I think they're saying anything that's white would become desert sand.
Yes. Oh, you're saying with the red, white, and blue, or with the red, blue?
Yeah, so it would look like the building, and that's what the historic, they showed a picture of
Okay,
the desert sand,
okay,
which I think is a very fair compromise.
I would agree.
So you'd have red, blue, and tan.
Instead of the white.
So I was actually going to suggest just what you said, because for me, the impact comes from all the banding and the bright colors, which I don't think is a good fit for the area. And also, I think it's not really necessary because this is a small scale setting. You're not in an area with large setbacks where you would need that bold impact. It's the only gas station that's there. You can easily see the name and the branding on the building itself. And if you wanted to reinforce it, just keeping it white is fine, I think. Or beige, whatever you wanted to do, but just having just the logo in a corner or something like that, that ties in with the building itself. I think that's plenty enough to let people know where they're going. It's not like we're in a place like Henrietta where there's a million different places and you need to, focus in on something. To me, it's the banding and striping that's just out of place.
So you're saying would it still be white, but, and it could have the Crosby's and the C mark, but just no stripes?
The logo, I don't know about quite as large as you're showing it here, but something to tie back to the building itself, which
Mhm.
helps you make that connection. The tan is an improvement, I would think, but if you can't do that because it's not part of your branding colors, I understand that. But I think what would be better would be to get rid of the banding and just have your logo.
I'm open to that. Would I do the tan? Yes. Do I know if it's gonna look that great? Maybe not, make it a little funky.
I think it'll look good because that's what's on the building.
That's fair.
So I think the tan is fine. If, again, I would like to see for consistency of the stripes, but if the stripes. I mean, the important thing is to have branding on it.
Now, the branding, are you talking about just the C or additionally?
Just that
very
the Crosby's on one side and the C mark on another side.
The Crosby's would be facing south.
Yeah, there's two canopies, there's a north canopy and a south canopy. So we show in this. I don't know if they're both. So each canopy would have a Crosby and each canopy would have one C mark.
I'm sorry.
So each canopy would have sort of the north and south. So make sure.
This is going south, obviously the other side of south is north.
I think we drew that as the north. So a Crosby's on one end.
Which, like the north end,
Yeah, and then C mark
a C mark would be on which side?
on the opposite side.
On
So,
the south
so
side.
looking at the one side has this represents the Crosby's, this represents the C.
Okay,
And the same here.
so not
The
all
stores-
four, not all
No,
four.
just two on, so on this side, there's the building. The C mark would be here, the Crosby's would be there.
Oh, so not here then.
Well, on this canopy, there's two different canopies there.
Oh, okay.
That store
Oh,
has two-
that's right,
that
it
store has
does,
two
it
canopies.
does.
Yep.
You're right, I'm
Yeah,
so
that-
sorry, yeah,
That's okay.
yeah, it does.
So in both instances, the side of the canopy facing the road would be blank,
Parallel with the road.
parallel with the road
Right,
would be blank.
right.
That is the side plan. So the one with the word, yeah, that's it.
You see on this side and this side, and this side and this side.
So the word crossing is on this side.
Yeah.
And then on this side.
So,
Do you want Crosby's to be seen? I guess it doesn't matter from which direction.
And then this side would have just the C.
correct. And the same with that. Crosby's and C.
And these would be blank and they'd be the sand color.
Yes, painted, that's what it's.
And Crosby's would be here, which would make more sense because you're coming in. Seems to me if we were to decide that we're okay, I would say the Crosby's would be on the north side instead of the side near the stoplight. Got people coming in. But that's up to you, I guess.
Would also make it less prominent here. on this.
Right.
You have the thing for
Mhm.
the historic character on this corner. If you could put the Crosby's on that, which actually makes.
And I was gonna say, that makes more sense because more traffic is coming door to
They
door
are.
and from the north.
Crosby's here.
Buildings
This
look
would be
like houses.
houses,
Yeah, they're,
and this would be the C.
is anything in that warehouse that was the vape
So
shop?
basically, at the intersection, you're just.
First down.
It's commercial.
Yep.
Commercial.
And the color
Us
of the
business one.
logo
I think
and
there's
the
like a
word
parking lot upstairs,
Crosby's
but.
would be red.
Correct.
It would be just what's here. That's on the bill, that's actually on the
Yep.
building,
Right,
so,
with the smiley.
Could it be about the same size as this? or-
Actually, that's bigger. believe
That's
it or
bigger,
not.
is it?
A lot of their stores, the signs are bigger and they project over the top, but we already made this one smaller.
Mhm.
It's fairly small, it's 23 square feet and this is only 5 0.3 square feet, so, and they are smaller than what's on the building.
I think once this banding is gone and it's just the logo and the swoosh.
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah, it's not as,
formal.
yeah,
I'm just wondering about the red. I'm trying to picture the red on the sand background.
well, just look here,
No,
Yeah,
red,
actually,
it's right there, it's right on the.
right there.
I think that is a good,
yeah, the building signs look nice on the sandstone, so
And
I
it will
I
make
think,
them look
and
more
I
cohesive.
agree, it ties the canopy into the building.
Yeah,
my only thing is if that could be like maybe 3/4 of that size, that would be better, but if you can't do that, you've already given us a lot. So that could be just a little bit smaller, but let's 15 inches, that's, okay, so the biggest one is 20 inches, so that's not.
Yeah.
And
once
your
you-
rendering
once you-
makes it
Once you put it up
larger.
larger on the canopy,
Yeah.
yeah, it's,
And when compared to that photo where it has the radius on it, so I think the inline itself looks so much more natural anyways.
Yeah,
So
that
we
is
already
better.
did that.
Do you know how large the depth of the,
it's 36 inches.
oh, so this is just not really very much to scale.
Well, the thing that makes it, if you look at the size, when you add the smile,
Yeah.
it makes the whole thing taller, but really,
Yeah.
the lowercase letters are not very
So
big.
this is 18, yeah, yeah, that's not bad. I feel better after seeing that.
I'm good with the swaps too, that's fine. Cause then, especially if the corner is the major concern of the historic too, it would be less jarring.
So at the corner, you would be facing the sea.
Just do double sleeve.
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right, and it wouldn't be that bright white, and it wouldn't be all the big, the big brand. I mean, just so you know, everybody knows around here, everybody knows Crosby's.
Yeah.
Everybody knows Crosby's. It's Crosby's and they have the best pizza in town. I'm just telling you.
That's good.
Like you could take all the branding off
We
and
can
everybody would
still go.
still know it was Crosby's. You could sell it to somebody else and we'd still call it Crosby's.
That's good.
Yeah.
But I think with the changes, it still will look a lot, because it does sand, it's not a gray, it has their branding, I think.
I just want to see that a better, so this is what the color is now. They'd make the canopy that color. and it
We're
put
gonna
the
go
color.
to the canopy being a tan color,
A
matching
tan
the
color.
building.
This side facing the intersection, the intersection would just have their C logo. And the back side coming from the north, it would have their full name logo.
And the
And that-
canopy over here.
And the canopy over here, the C is gonna be
Yeah.
facing the yes, the intersection.
Facing the intersection with the full name.
And on the other side, on the
I
west
was just
side.
showing, this is another example of the desert sand.
I'm good with that.
So
Well, that's
it
tan and no
shows up
banding.
nicely.
Yeah.
Tan and no banding.
Tan and no banding.
Okay, what do you think? Tan and no banding?
and no bad, we make the plan for that.
Oh, okay. Are we ready for an approval on this then? I mean, I don't know that we had a thought of an approval today, but I mean, if everyone is in agreement,
I think if you, I didn't prepare a written one because I didn't know.
that's okay. I mean, we don't have to have it, we can just take some notes and prepare the resolution, or how would you normally do that? Would you prepare the resolution and then send it to the applicant for their review and approval?
I think there's a few ways you could do it. One, you could ask them to redraw the pictures, the
Right.
elevations,
Yeah.
bring them in and have us look at it and then approve it with a resolution. If you're intent on going forward tonight, you could move forward. You could do it by verbal resolution.
Okay. How do you guys feel? Would you like to see a rendering of the
Additionally, I'm seeing the revised drawing.
would you like to see that? What it would look like on the
I think that's reasonable.
Well, okay, you either moving forward tonight. The options are basically go forward tonight verbally or wait, have them bring back and then make
then
your approval when you have it in front of you. That's kind of your choices.
is
Which
that what
one-
you want to do?
Bring it back.
Bring it back and then can you, how quick of an turnaround do you have? Like to do that? If we were to ask you to bring back the
Well, we can redo the drawings
quickly?
Right away.
Okay, so when is our next meeting?
The 17th. September 17th. We
Is
have
that
one
agreeable
application.
to you? Would
Yeah, if we
you?
have to come back, yeah.
Yeah, because we just like you. And so when you come back, then it will be on the sandstone background, you know,
Mhm. Yeah.
painted. It won't have the banding.
Right.
Right, so we'll be able to get a better look at it, like that.
And then we can put a resolution
And
together
then in
for
the
you.
meantime, we'll put together the resolution and then you can just go. Hopefully hold on,
Like even if it's the 17th.
the 17th at 7. Right here.
Yeah, and so just, do you want me to email in advance the renderings?
Do you mind? And that way, if you email the renderings to Brooke, she'll distribute to the board. And then we can all, just have a
Yeah.
look at it and, hopefully be in and out
Do you
within a
need,
couple minutes.
Color renderings or can you bring them in color or do you need me to send them?
If you want to send them email and then maybe when you come on the 17th, if you want to bring a couple extra renderings, paper copies of it. Yeah. If that works for you guys.
Sounds good. We'll see you in a couple of weeks. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
We have to make a motion to table it.
Okay, moving right along.
No action.
Okay.
No action was taken.
We have and I am so bad at names, so I hope I don't totally ruin this, but Alborski? All right, close enough. Are you Doug? Hi Doug, how are ya? Good, okay, so what are you doing? What's your plan? Just selling off the lot? Couple acres, okay, do you know who you're selling to?
Rick Schultz.
What, I mean, it's really. it's- Does anybody have any questions or comments on this, subdivision? Oh? No questions?
No questions, straightforward.
No questions? Charlie?
I did.
Okay, wait, I'll ask Danielle while you're looking. Danielle, no questions? Okay, this was, I will just add, this is also, in historic preservation, we had. And so the HPC has asked that that you and your realtor and attorney inform any prospective buyers of the designation status of the deed. Cobblestone House, and the implications of what that might mean if they want to do that.
And so they're aware of the designation. Very well. I'll go.
Just because that might, when they bring their site, if someone were to decide they were going to build on that piece of property and they were to come to us with a site plan. If they were within the 500 feet of that historic building, in the buffer zone, we would have to, that would be in consideration.
They might be a little bit past 500 feet.
Is lot 2 within 500 feet?
Lot
It is.
views, yeah.
Is it 500 feet from their border or from that house? That's a difference.
Do you know how that works?
I used the EAF mapper and it said that they were in. I actually have it right here.
Isn't the EPOD map?
Mhm.
Doesn't it show right on the map?
Yes.
Can I see a map? No one got an extra map I can look at?
Oh, you mean this map?
Yeah, that one. I got one, thank you. See, it's not on there.
Well, because theirs is a 500-foot buffer, so it's just a radius of all the EPODs are up here.
Right, so it's not touching this lot though.
The EPOD 5, that doesn't actually show delineation of EPOD. It's just it's a radius. So I don't even know if any GIS actually could delineate an EPOD 5 because it's a buffer. So you have like a
Mhm.
See, I would say they should
But
have that on
this
there.
is lot two, but is it? By what, you know how like.
So that-
Where does the EPOD, like where?
It is in it, in the,
It's not
it's
drawn
12 inch
on it.
EAF mapper.
I mean, on this, on the
I
map.
don't know how they do it either, just that they usually drawn on there and then we can see.
Brent, hey Brent, Does GIS, can you pull the EPOD 5 on, no, because it's just a radius, right? It's not actually a
Or can't you map it on this map?
EPOD 5. There's a really EPOD about that one.
Yeah. I mean, that's been done before. Didn't we do that for a few of the other ones we just had before us? Yeah. Yeah. One of the conditions says the map shall include a note providing that the new lot is within EPOD 5 and shall be revised to include the location of EPODs. All to the satisfaction of the town engineer designee. So is that I mean, as for an engineer, is that a big ask to have them put EPOD 5 on there, the mapping of it?
Or maybe Corey. It's the official.
So that should be a condition of their approval.
Yeah. I mean, that's the way you could address the concern.
Okay, I just, you know, I just want to make sure that the person who's, if there's going to be something to be considered in the future that someone's aware of it. I don't want someone to be blindsided.
Is it to the property, Brent, or to the house? To the property, it's 453 feet. Corner to corner, close corners on property.
That's fine, I mean, it's offsetting the property line by 500 foot. Forgive me, it's not the gates of Morehouse anymore.
Some cobblestone, right?
Yeah.
So maybe we'll modify the condition to say within historic EPOD 5, just so we know.
Mhm.
Just not sure what the formal name of it. Historic Site Protection Overlay District. I'm just putting the name of it, the map, because our condition already says the map shall include a note providing that the new lot is within the historic site protection EPOD number 5.
Okay.
And shall be revised to include location of all EPODs, including EPOD 5. Also the satisfaction of the town engineer designee.
I'd like to see a footprint of the cobblestone on here.
Where is it? Can we see it? Is it somewhere in the scope of the map?
It's,
No, I mean,
These are gates.
I mean physically.
On here, it's
Yeah.
just noted. It's noted.
It's up to the board.
What do you think, girl? Not necessary?
Not necessary.
I don't feel like that's necessary either.
And that's good, everything. If we didn't have this, we're gonna, it'd be within a bar, you'll put it right over there. Yeah, but I don't see a problem.
No?
No.
Okay. Great. Anybody else? No? Do you want to just, Don, can you just review the draft resolution one for Mr. O? For Mr. O.
Just to be clear, we're certain it's within EPOD 5, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, the resolution is originally as written. There's some whereases in there. It would resolve to address seeker. it would resolve to segment, seek a review, and do the site plan review once a plan has been posed for site plan. It would issue a neg deck just for the subdivision. And then it would approve the subdivision subject to two conditions. One, the one we just read, which is the map shall include a note providing that the new lot is within the historic site protection EPOD number 5, and such map shall be, sorry, I'm revising it. Such map shall be revised to include the location of all EPODs, including EPOD number 5, all to the satisfaction of the town engineer or designee. And then it also, there's another condition that there needs to be a note on the map indicating site plan approval will be required prior to future development, to read as follows. Approved by the planning board for subdivision only, site plan approval in accordance with chapter 260 of the Mendon Code is required prior to construction. Such approval may include requirements for wetland delineation, historic assessment, as well as another analyses.
Okay,
All right. And the last rev on that map is over a year ago, right? March 23, 2024. Although it's going to be revised.
Yes. April 23rd, 2024.
I'm gonna put but subject to further provision per the conditions below. Okay. Okay.
okay.
You said March.
You know, what's the last rev on yours?
April.
March 23rd, okay. Or sorry, April. Okay, I'll change that to April 24th, right? Yeah. 2024. Okay, updated that.
Okay, awesome. And you understand what how the resolution was reading for your approval?
So
The two things that,
new map with the laid out on that?
Mhm.
It has some other EPODs on it. It looks like it just didn't have the EPOD 5 mapped on it.
Yeah.
As far as I could tell. So you just need to update the map to put a few, there's a couple notes on there that need to be added, and then there's EPOD 5 needs to be mapped on it.
This goes, notes that need to go on there.
So would someone like to make a motion that we approve this subdivision based on the resolution? Is there a public hearing?
Yes, subdivision.
Very. Oh, boy. Okay, there's a public hearing. Is there any public that would like to be heard regarding this subdivision? No, in that case, I will close the public hearing. And now we will move for an approval.
Just,
Oh.
I'm just writing the exact name of the EPOD as it shows in our code. It's actually Historic and Archaeological Site Protection Overlay District. Okay, I'm just gonna have that in the resolution, so it's exact.
So would someone like to make a motion that we approve this subdivision with the conditions of the resolution that we just reviewed? Danielle, second by Earl, all in favor? Aye, yes, no one opposed? Okay, approved. With a few conditions, but to be
Got that out. People get that updated and get one from both.
Yeah, I'll send you a copy of the approval letter with the attached conditions. Yep.
Thank you.
okay. Moving right along. We have a general discussion regarding Mendon Green's HOA land transfer. Is there someone here that's representing the Mendon Foundation or, yep, okay,
If you want me to, I
okay.
don't know if you have a question for me or not, I kind of just. For that reason, in case you did, I'm Brad Carlson, I'm the president.
Hi, Brian, how are ya? I think that we put some time, we were looking at this, we were trying to locate the filed easement. And we are unable to find that.
Here.
And in which case, we will need to find it, then review it, then discuss it.
So that document specifically puts in whatever restrictions are on that land, is that the purpose of that document?
It's a conservation easement, yeah.
And the documentation that you already have from what the plan or what the other general, I guess, expectations were of either the original developer or Craig Antonelli is the builder and owner now. Has that document been reviewed?
It has been reviewed, but without the easement, we really do need to review the easement.
Right. I'm just curious if there's issues or questions on part that has been reviewed that we could at least.
Okay, so I mean, I'm sure we all have some questions. Would you like to ask any questions, Earl?
I question this, the space of between the Moorview property and the Menu Green property at the whole thing. Where the cell tower is. What was your intention at that point? Is that going to be a parking area there? Are you accessing the property from that point?
So currently, the Mendon Foundation owns about, I don't have the exact number in front of me, 25, 26 acres. It's two triangle plots. We've had it for about 25 years. But we do access it from at the right. So we just park at the end of the road, and walk in. We have an easement there. We have Empire Gas Pipeline on our easement, and then RG&E also has also a second easement parallel to them. And we walk in on those easements, and then we have trails on our property.
You're planning on continuing those trails onto the Mendon Green properties?
Correct. So as of right now, the way our property works, again, it's two triangular shaped properties, and in each one of those triangles, it's fairly easy to envision, but we have kind of a loop in each one of those triangles. And recently, we actually made a trail through our forest, just kind of clean up the leaves and sticks and whatnot, but right up to the edge of the Mendon Green, the current Mendon Green property. Craig Antonelli, the current owner of the Mendon Green property, had, I don't know who the people were, but had some gentlemen mowing kind of a perimeter trail on their property. So now if people are hiking on their trail, they can come into our trails and vice versa. So people can essentially enjoy the nature trails.
Are you going to enter in the property on the west of the what area, in the bottom, the flooding area?
We don't have any way to enter on that side over there. I mean, there's
Not to enter, but are you going to put trails crossing that?
currently we have no intention of doing that. No, I mean, we're not interested in spending excessive amounts of money with infrastructure and things like that, but if there's dry areas, then, and we have hiking trails, and that property is currently without Mendon Green, let's say, has not been a very high use property. I mean, there's very few people that access it. We've tried to start bringing more attention to the green spaces that we have so the community can enjoy them, and have had some good feedback on some of those properties. But that property, I think the Mendon Green portion of it, if it is transferred to the Mendon Foundation, would be a more attractive section to hike for people anyhow, because it's away from the thruway, which it's a lot of thruway noise on that property. And I don't know if everyone is familiar with the Mendon Foundation and what we do or what we have been doing, but we'd happy to give you a 2-second. So, Mendon Foundation was founded in 1993 by local community people, some that sat at this table back then. At the time, they had a vision for the community where they would create green spaces that could, for the public, but soft recreation, not things for motorcycles or things like that. It was much more about hiking, biking, equestrian, cross-country skiing. So very early on in the first decade, Carl Foster, the gentleman who was leading the charge, they secured 6 properties in essentially around Mendon, Clay Falls. One is over towards Caledonia that were donated, much like what we're suggesting here, purchased for $1. And we hold those, it's about 160 acres total with those 6 properties. 4 out of 6 have trails on them, 2 of them are just essentially forests that no one really walks in. But we have hiking trails that we maintain with 100% volunteers, and then around that same time, the Mendon Foundation came to Monroe County and made a proposal to turn the Lehigh Valley Trail into that from the old rail bed. And so, Mendon Foundation with Monroe County together went out and got grants, about $1.5 million, and we made the Lehigh Valley Trail. And so we maintain all the light maintenance, about 18 miles of the Lehigh Valley Trail, from the Victortown line west all the way to the Genesee River. And if you know where Rochester Junction is on Plains Road, we also have a spur that goes north to the Henrietta Town line. And that, we take care of all that ourselves with volunteers, grass cutting, when the trees come down, we chainsaw them. If some of the crushed gravel needs to be spread, we spread that. Whatever, things like that. And we also own a section west of the Genesee River into Caledonia that we maintain as well. So that's kind of the crux of it as far as what we're doing green space wise. We spent 2 decades really building, and then the last decade really maintaining. And I just took this role back in January, and we're trying to, let's say, reinvigorate. We kind of came up with a new 5-year plan, and we're looking at growth again. We'd like to see more green spaces in the community that we could take care of and have the community enjoy them. And this is one that's been on the table for, I don't know, 15 years, Brent. I don't know how long it's been going on, but
Nothing green yet, 2004.
early on, my understanding in talking to my predecessors is that there was some fairly high expectations, let's say within the Mendon Foundation. They said, yeah, we'll take the land, but we'd like $200,000 to come with it so we can take care of it, and we want to build a building, we're going to buy a new lawnmower that we're, big tractor we're going to put there. When I came in and tried to, let's say, revive the discussion with Mendon Green, and I contacted Craig, I said, my expectations are maybe not quite as high as that. We don't have that kind of revenue that's ever come in with any other property, or the Lehigh Valley Trail. And we'd very much like to get this into our portfolio of green spaces in the community, just as we've done with the other 6, which is simply take possession of the land and take care of it. So.
Where, can you show us on this map how people are going to access this?
So currently, let's see. Okay, yeah, so currently these 2 triangles are our land. And we come in on Eckler Road, and people essentially park right here. It's a dead end road, there's nothing to it. And then we have a trail right now that comes in here, and there's a loop here. And this is a trail, this is mowed by us, but it's also mowed by 2 pipeline companies, and it goes parallel from way past up here, and it goes all the way, I don't know, to Buffalo, who knows where. But so people hike in on these paths that are mowed. They can come on our loop here, and then we have this is a very tight spot, but there is about 10 feet or 15 feet wide here that our path goes. And then we have another loop in this triangle down in here somewhere. And then we have a path now that we made with, I don't know, 15 or 20 volunteers that comes right up here to, let's see where your borders are here. So it comes right here to this, there's our border. To the property line. To right here to the property line. What Craig Antonelli had done is there is this path here that comes out to their water retention ponds. And it drops down, and there is a path currently that goes this way, and it comes out, and this is a big field right here. It comes out to a field, and there's a big perimeter trail that goes around that field right now. That was maintained last year. He's not maintaining it anymore. So we'd like to get in there and start mowing that trail again so that people can walk it. And there's culverts in place over creeks, like if you were asking about, are we going to be in the wetland? I'm not interested in getting down. There's a Mill Creek is down here. There's a couple other things. I have talked to Empire Pipeline and RG&E to see if they'd be willing to potentially consider do some type of assessment where they could put in a legitimate culvert, but that would have to come, I guess, to you guys anyhow. But if they did something like that,
That's why they didn't develop it. They couldn't get across it. And the cost of the bridge was too high.
okay.
They haven't jumped through, they get this.
Yeah, for us, it's more of a hiking path than bringing vehicles and that kind of thing.
Is the extent of your mowing limited to just trails? You don't do like, you're not mowing the entire fields for the sake of mowing fields?
Well, I guess that question has changed historically. So the Menet Foundation, a couple of the properties they took over, Sibleyville Nature Reserve, if any of you've gone to that, which is off Plains Road and 15A. So there was farm fields there, and the Menet Foundation went in with a grant, a federal grant, and planted. We used to allow the farming to continue. But we went in and flattened that out and planted grasses. So it's all grassland in it now. For 10 years, we mowed that seasonally. It was a WHIP program, is what it was called, to the federal government, to maintain grasslands. So now what we do on that property is we do mow fields, but it's on a 3-year cycle, just so it doesn't grow up into a forest. We want to maintain the grassland up on that drumlin. So I mowed a third of it like with a brush hog. We brush hog it for a third of it 1 year, and then this year we'll do another
What
third.
time of year do you do that?
Late in the fall after all the nesting.
On the dash.
They were not, actually, that's actually how I got introduced to the Menet Foundation, because I live very close to that, and they were mowing it in the middle of the summer. And I said, wait a second, you guys are attracting all this wildlife, and then you're killing it because you're mowing it in the middle of summer. So they asked me to kind of consult with them for a while. I was, it's just kind of a passion. So then they started to mow it in the fall. So that's, but we do the same thing at a couple of other properties. We'll brush hog and in the fall if we have a grassland area, our Taylor Road property.
Which keeps under control.
Yeah.
Do you have any concern about, if you come look at this map again?
Sure.
Between lots. Where the drainage access is up on Meadow Green Lane? Yeah, about people hiking into and off of the property into private property?
So I don't have concerns with it. That conversation did come up. Craig and I talked about it. He goes, what would you do? I said, what I've done at the other properties is I designed signs that say, I actually found a picture on my phone or something, nature reserve boundary. And it says, please respect the private property beyond the sign. So it faces, and I created a different sign for all of our borders. Last year we did a project, about 250 signs we put up on the perimeter of all 6 properties. And they say, they look just like a no trespassing posted sign, these bright yellow signs or orange signs. Ours are yellow, but instead of saying posted, they say, notice nature reserve, no hunting, trapping, whatever, there's some rules. And so that faces outward around the perimeters of our properties, all 6 now, very consistent. And then where there is a trail going towards someone's yard, which we, in many cases, have encouraged, like, yeah, if that's gonna open a neighborhood up to come in and enjoy these trails, keep the trail open, but let's make sure the traffic's kind of one way, right? So we put the sign on the back of ours, so it's facing, so if anyone's going that direction, they know, don't go into that private property.
Gotcha.
So that's what we've been doing.
And then the other way, parking on Mending Green.
So there's no intention for any public access to go through this section. So I think the way Craig and I talked about it is that he'd allow us, if we needed to bring tractors in that way for some reason, we could do that, but that's not going to be like on our maps. If you were to go onto our Menet Foundation website, there's a map of each of our green spaces, and then there's like a yellow dot that shows this is a public entrance. So that would not be a public entrance. So the only public entrance would be down at this end.
Okay.
And then Corey suggested, this is not something we have in the works. If this starts to get a little bit more use and there's always a car or two that's going to be there, he said that we could probably discuss at that point if we want to put some type of gravel lot down here in this easement area to put a couple cars off the road. But again, it's a dead end road. I mean, I've been there 30 times and I've never seen another car ever. So.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. And are you going to be able to locate that easement for us for our review? Or
I don't know that I will be able to, nor do I think it is.
that's the town?
Yeah.
The town is gonna look for it?
I was waiting for the official planning board discussion, but yes, I will. We'll look for it tomorrow. We'll put marathon on it.
Okay, so we'll locate it. You'll share it with us so that we can, review. Do we need to meet again then? Yes? Yep, we'll meet again.
Planning board's small.
Okay, so we will have to meet again once we have the easement in our possession.
I think you've got two, oh, sorry to interrupt.
That's all right.
I think you've got two things going on here. This is interesting because as you see on your agenda, this is a general discussion.
Yes, it's,
So what's being proposed here, which I think what I understand is being proposed is an administrative subdivision since no new lots are being created and the code appears to permit an administrative subdivision so long as the planning board chair consents. But I also think that the town board just wanted some input from the greater board before something like that took place. So we all know the context in which we're speaking.
so just to clarify, the planning board would be doing the administrative resub. We would be approving moving the lines, correct?
Typically, we do about 6 or 10 a year.
Right,
You come
right,
in,
it's
they
not a big,
sign off
that's
on it.
not
Yeah.
necessarily a big deal.
The way the code reads is that it, a proposed re-subdivision consisting solely of alteration of lot lines where no additional lots would be created. Normal subdivision procedures may be waived at the discretion, the written discretion of the planning board chairperson. I think that's what we're referring to as a administrative subdivision.
Okay.
So I think under that code, one could say they don't, this doesn't mean to come before, this presentation doesn't, it's not a formal application. I
Right.
think is the way this is set up, the way it's being presented, right? Is that right? As it's
I
being
don't know if
presented.
I'm the right place for me to speak, but my understanding was this was a courtesy to bring this back to this group since this group was involved at the beginning.
Mhm.
And it was like, hey, before we move forward before the town moves forward, we
Yeah,
want to give you the courtesy to review it again, and make sure it's what the original scope it was meant to be. And I think if I understand, and I'm fairly new in this, in the original scope was Mendon wants to make sure there's gonna be a big piece of green space there that's not gonna have houses on it. And that's the intent. And as soon as we have possession of it, you're guaranteed, because that's what our mission is for Mendon, is to keep these green spaces as green spaces, never to sell them off, never to let them be developed. And to make sure that they're available for the community to enjoy. And so I think that's the spirit of what you all wanted, so.
yeah, so again, to put it into context, is I think is everybody sort of saying the same thing, that this is being presented to the town as administrative as a subdivision without the need for formal subdivision procedure, subject to a waiver by the planning board chair. That's what that's what I think they were calling an administrative subdivision. So the fact that he's presenting before the whole board, I think isn't typical for an administrative subdivision, but I think they've been asked to do that because this was such a big project.
Brad offered to come in.
Yeah,
To speak.
Yeah.
I mean, and it wasn't, my thought of bringing this before the board was not about moving the lot line. It was about the conversation of the open space and is the Mendon Foundation's intent consistent with what the planning board approval was for the open space.
Right. And I mean, it seems that it is. But without the easement, the official wording of the easement, we can't just assume. We need to just. Right, we need to look at it and then we need
We
to,
need that piece of paper filed with the county.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it's just a piece of paper.
right. So,
so I guess presuming the easement gets filed and is put in place, does the board, maybe the chair wants to know whether the board has any objection to her permitting an administrative subdivision based on this?
I have no objections. I think that the intent is as it was, originally stated, and I think it's actually better than what we ended up with before, so. And there's more green space and we definitely think it's an improvement.
At the squeeze point, you own both sides.
You want
Under access over there.
Mhm.
At that squeeze point, you own both sides.
Correct.
But I mean, she still has to sign off on it as administrator.
yes,
So you have possession.
yes. there any objection if I do that once we have the easement, filed? Yes, okay. All right, okay, no objection? Okay, all right, well then that's good. So as soon as we have that, then, just take a quick look at it, make sure everything is consistent and, move forward from there. Yes? Yeah. Thank you.
Sure.
And thanks for the overview. That was
Sure,
very.
I've got some brochures in case anybody wants one.
Please, you mind?
Absolutely. We're looking for people to either get involved or
That's awesome. Thank you.
you can read them and throw them away if you want. Would you like one?
Sure, thank
The
you.
only one left out. I'm gonna give you.
Yeah.
I just want to say, I think the foundation hit it out of the cover with the Lehigh Curve.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. Right?
It's used in pond.
We love
You're
that.
walking, running, biking. you talk.
Yeah, we just, this last weekend, we held our Black Diamond Half Marathon and 5K races, which is our only fundraiser each year. We had over 200 people, 200 runners, which was great, like, I guess the second highest in the 14 years we've been doing it, so it's, and everybody was commenting on the trail, is the best it's ever been, so. But nice, it's a nice part of the community.
Is that your number on here?
That will go to my cell phone, yeah, if you call that,
Number?
yeah, it's not my personal number, but it forwards to my cell phone. This is not consistent, if you were to call it.
All right.
Don't hesitate.
Any other, general discussion for the board? Anything you guys want to talk
Just-
about?
No, it's September 17th is our next meeting. I said that, but there's a typo on this. That's the 25th. That's
Oh,
zoning
okay.
board.
All right, so that'll be the.
The 25th is a
17th,
zoning,
and we'll have
yes.
Orland And the
17th.
other Mr. O.
Okay.
Back.
Yep.
Okay. All right, that sounds great.
Sorry, I was interrupting a general discussion.
Oh, general discussion, yes,
Yes.
Mr. Public.
The town board did pass, an update in 135 or 138, section 5, the historic preservation.
Mhm.
In October, I'm sorry, in August. I don't know if you had a chance to distribute that
I did not. I was gonna print hard copies actually for them.
hard copy.
Yes.
So it's an update to the historic.
No,
epoch,
I can print them
which
and leave them with you.
specifically applies tonight because it goes to the parcel boundary. It's 500 foot from the parcel boundary. Just so you aware, and then there is some outlines in there to help the review from the HPC of the 4 or 5 metrics.
Yeah, a
to
few
look at,
factors.
And then the planning board to understand which 4 or 5 metrics that they're looking at, for you to consider their recommendations. Okay. Now, distributed and I'm working on some other things too before the planning board. And you're right. That's all my communications.
Michelle did file that one with the state though already.
I'll confirm with her that she's filed it with the state.
Okay.
It's not. Nicely.
Okay. So if there is nothing else that we would like to discuss, would someone like to make a motion that we adjourn the meeting? I'm looking this way this time. Teresa, Charlie? All in favor? Aye. Aye. All right,
It's better near the waterfall outside.
there we go. I know.